The clouds paint death. Nature's Rorschach test is what Ellie would call them, the phenomenon that many young couples experience, those picturesque dates, where you lay back, gaze at the sky, and debate over what each cloud shape could mean. Ellie and I were no different. During our sophomore year of high school, we spent nearly every day of summer at the beach, and without fail, Ellie would always kick off a cloud-watching session. One day near the beginning of August, we decided to go to the beach for what would be the last time before school began. That morning, however, I noticed Ellie seemed a little off, which at the time I chalked it up to first day of school jitters. I decided this time it was my turn to kick off our little cloud ritual, describing the first thing that came to sight. Oh babe, I swear to God, Mr. Clean is in a fist fight with a dinosaur up there. You gotta look. I managed to get a little smirk out of her as she raised her eyes to the sky, narrowing in a cloud of her choice. Her smirk slowly faded, giving way to an expression of discomfort. She broke the silence a few seconds later. The clouds paint death. What, Elle? I started to question, but she sighed and turned her gaze back on me. What time are you picking me up tomorrow for school? She asked, shifting the subject. Probably 7:20. Everything all right? She gave a small nod and a smile, reassuring me that everything was fine, but those words, the clouds paint death, still lingered in my mind. They lingered with me that night as I watched lightning dance through the clouds. They lingered a couple weeks later when Ellie was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. They lingered 2 months later when her body was lowered into the earth. It took a few years, but eventually, I started to see exactly what Ellie saw in the clouds that day. As I was walking to my university classes, my eye was caught by a peculiar shape in the sky. I saw what looked like a bus, with its front tire crushing the head of a figure beneath it. I brushed it off and kept walking to my first class, only to stop abruptly when a biker zoomed past me. He sped down the street, but the next pedestrian wasn't as quick, sending the biker crashing onto the road. He probably didn't have a second to process before an oncoming university bus painted the asphalt with his brains. I don't know how many more deaths it took, but eventually, I became permanently glued to the ground. My therapist suggested I combat my paranoia through writing, hoping that I might come to realize that the clouds aren't prophetic. But as I look up in the clouds, I can almost see it again. The clouds paint death. I just hope it's not a sign for you.